There's a reason no one lives on Mars, and it's not just the cold or the lack of air. It's something far more mysterious and far more dangerous. Planet-wide storms that seem to rise from nowhere, soil laced with poison, a silent sky that watches you, and yet NASA still says we'll get there by 2050. But what if Mars isn't just uninhabitable? What if it's fighting back? Welcome to the Red Planet's greatest mystery. Mars has captivated our imagination for centuries. A planet painted in blood-red dust, orbiting silently in the cold beyond Earth. It's close enough to tempt us, and just deadly enough to remind us we don't belong there. But now, more than ever, space agencies around the world are racing to make it our second home. In this journey, we'll uncover the terrifying reality of what awaits us. Colossal dust storms that can suffocate machines, toxic soil that could poison crops, and an atmosphere that offers no protection, only silence. And yet, Mars may still hold the key to humanity's future, or its downfall. Mars is often called Earth's sister planet. It's close, rocky, and about half our size. But don't let that familiarity fool you, because Mars is no friend. A single day there is only 40 minutes longer than ours. Seasons come and go, much like they do on Earth, thanks to a similar axial tilt. Even the landscape looks eerily familiar in some photos. Valleys, ice caps, mountains taller than Everest, but beneath that surface lies a silent menace. The Martian year lasts nearly twice as long as ours, 687 days. That means longer winters, deeper freezes, and slower cycles of change. And the weather? It's not just cold, it's unpredictable. At the poles, temperatures drop so low the atmosphere itself turns to ice. Yes, you heard that right. On Mars, the air can freeze. And yet, there are patterns, beauty even in the chaos. Spiral formations in the polar ice caps, dust devils dancing across endless plains, a world stuck between stillness and violence. Mars is the ghost of what a living planet might look like after life has gone. It's familiar, but something feels off, like a reflection in a cracked mirror. From afar, Mars looks quiet, still, lifeless. But that calm is a lie, because every few years something ancient awakens on the red planet, a force so massive, so overwhelming, it can swallow continents, even the entire planet itself. Not the kind that gathers on forgotten shelves, but electrostatic, razor-fine dust, billions of particles, so light that Mars' thin air keeps them suspended for weeks. It starts small, a gust, a whirl. Then, without warning, a dust devil spirals into the sky. Another follows, then another, until the surface is lost beneath a rising wall of storm. In 2018, a global dust storm struck with such ferocity it choked the skies for months and killed one of NASA's most beloved rovers, Opportunity. The sun disappeared, power ran out, and just like that, silence. These aren't just storms, they're planet-sized blackouts. And they don't just threaten rovers, they threaten our future settlements. Because when the sky turns red and the light disappears, survival becomes a race against time. And the worst part? We still don't know exactly why they happen, or how to stop them. Take a deep breath. Now, imagine doing that on Mars. You can't, because the Martian atmosphere is 100 times thinner than Earth's. It's made almost entirely of carbon dioxide. No oxygen, no pressure, no mercy. If you stepped outside without a suit, your blood would start to boil, not from heat, but from the lack of pressure. The air is so thin it simply can't hold you together. And gravity? On Mars, it's only 38% of what we feel here. It sounds fun, right? Jump higher, lift more, but over time your body begins to fall apart. Muscles shrink, bones lose density, fluids drift upwards, pressuring the brain and distorting your vision. We've seen it already in astronauts aboard the ISS. Months in microgravity cause lasting damage. Now imagine living like that for years. No breathable air, no protective blanket of atmosphere, no gravity as we know it, Mars isn't just a new world, it's a whole new set of rules, and we still don't know how well the human body can play by them. If humans ever want to stay on Mars, we'll need more than oxygen. We'll need food, grown, not flown. But there's a problem. Martian soil, also known as regolith, isn't just lifeless, it's toxic, laced with perchlorates, salts that can disrupt your thyroid and poison your blood. This soil was never meant to support life as we know it, and yet it might. In 2016, scientists grew tomatoes, quinoa, peas, and radishes in Mars-like soil here on Earth. The result? They grew. Not perfectly, but they grew. The trick? Enriching the soil with organic matter, compost, even processed human waste, washing out the toxins, using bacteria that eat perchlorates and release oxygen as a byproduct. It's not farming as we know it, it's survival gardening on a planet that wants nothing to do with life. But what if we can master this? We don't just feed the colony. We prove something bigger, that even in the most hostile of places, life finds a way. Before the first human sets foot on Mars, machines will walk there for us. Not just rovers, not just cameras on wheels, but scouts, explorers, survivors. In 2021, a small drone named Ingenuity made history. The first powered flight on another planet, hovering in air thinner than Earth's stratosphere. It was fragile, light, almost impossible, and yet it flew. Now engineers are pushing further. Boston Dynamics' robotic dog, Spot, has been reprogrammed for Mars. It can walk, climb, map caves, and decide on its own how to navigate a world with no roads, no light, no help. Why legs instead of wheels? Because Mars is full of traps, dust pits, jagged rocks, steep craters. Spirit and Opportunity, two of NASA's legendary rovers, were both nearly lost to soft terrain. But machines like Spot don't get stuck. They adapt. These robots aren't just tools. They're the first settlers, brave, autonomous, untouched by fear or fatigue. They'll build, map, test, and maybe pave the way for us to follow. Imagine this. Something goes wrong. A fire, a system failure, an accident. You reach for help, and all you get is silence. On Mars, you're not just far from home, you're disconnected. Every message to Earth takes between 3 and 22 minutes to arrive, and the answer? Just as long. There are no real-time calls, no emergency services, no quick decisions, just you and the silence. Every astronaut will have to be a mechanic, a doctor, a technician, and a psychologist because no one's coming to the rescue. Even our rovers operate on delay. Every command sent from Earth is like a message in a bottle tossed into the void, hoping it lands where it's supposed to. So if humans want to survive on Mars, they'll need something more than technology. They'll need unshakable independence, calm under pressure, and the mental strength to face the abyss alone. If we do make it to Mars, where do we build the first home? Not every place on the planet is equally deadly. Some regions whisper possibilities. Take the Korolev crater, 81 kilometers wide, filled with frozen water, a potential reservoir for future colonists, or the polar ice caps, where thick layers of ice could be melted for drinking, farming, even fuel. But the real treasures may lie beneath the surface. Lava tubes, ancient tunnels carved by flowing magma, form perfect natural shelters. Protected from radiation, meteorites, and the freezing cold, they might become the first Martian neighborhoods. Then there's the permafrost, hidden ice locked in the soil across equatorial regions. Harder to reach, but closer to the sun, ideal for solar energy. Every option is a trade-off. More sunlight means less water. More protection means more isolation. There is no perfect spot, only the one that kills you slowest. Finding the right place to settle could be the difference between survival and extinction. Landing on Mars is one thing, staying alive is another. And the question becomes hauntingly simple. Where do we build our first home? The surface is a minefield. Frozen nights, radiation, storms that erase the sky. But scattered across the planet, there are pockets of promise. At the poles, vast caps of frozen water, solid, ancient, and pure, enough to sustain a small colony or grow one. Elsewhere, hidden under the soil, lie veins of permafrost, ice trapped in time. And in certain craters, like Korolev, entire lakes of ice sleep beneath the dust. But the most intriguing refuge? Underground. Mars is carved with colossal lava tubes, natural tunnels formed by ancient volcanic flows. They're dark, cold, isolated, but also shielded. Inside them, you're safe from radiation, from the cold, from the chaos above. It's poetic in a way, humanity trying to begin a new chapter by going back underground, into the planet's veins, into the unknown. Because on Mars, survival won't come from conquering the land, but from hiding from it. We can't bring houses to Mars. The planet is too far, the cost too great. So we'll have to build them there, from scratch. But how do you build a home on a world that wants you dead? Engineers have a bold answer. Use Mars itself. Its dust, its rock, its ice. With 3D printing technology, robots could layer Martian soil, regolith, into thick, curved walls, strong enough to hold pressure, thick enough to block radiation. Some designs even use ice as a building material. Others, fungi, living architecture that grows and repairs itself. The first habitats won't be spacious, they'll look more like bunkers than homes, buried under meters of dust for protection. Airtight, pressurized, self-contained. And before a single human arrives, autonomous robots will work alone for months, maybe years, preparing everything. Like silent caretakers building a future they'll never live in. This won't be a colony of comfort. It will be a stronghold, a fortress carved from alien Earth, our first fragile step into the great unknown. You've made it. You're on Mars. The ship is behind you. The planet is all around. But the real challenge has just begun. Your days are strict, scheduled, repetitive. You wake up in a cramped habitat with the same faces, the same routines, the same recycled air. Outside, you're trapped in a suit. You don't feel the wind, you don't smell the dust. Every step is monitored, every breath filtered. To keep your body from collapsing, you exercise every day, 2 hours, no exceptions. Because without gravity, your muscles wither, your bones weaken, your heart struggles. But the body isn't the only thing under attack. Isolation, confinement, silence, they dig into the mind. Days blur, nights are endless. There's no sky full of birds, no trees, no rain, just rock, just red, just silence. And worst of all, you can't just leave. There's no ride home, no fresh air waiting on the other side of a door. This is the cost of being a pioneer, to push the frontier while wondering if the frontier is pushing back. For now, Mars is silent, empty, watching. But somewhere in that silence, there's a question echoing through time. What if we make it? What if, despite the storms, the cold, the distance, the darkness, we plant a flag, not just in the ground, but in history? What if we stand on that alien soil and watch Earth rise in the sky like a distant memory? What if the first step on Mars isn't just a leap for science, but the beginning of a new story for humanity? We've lived our entire existence under one sky, but maybe, just maybe, we were never meant to stay there. And if we do make it, if we survive, adapt, and endure, then Mars won't just be the red planet. It will be the next home, and maybe the first line in the next chapter of what it means to be human. If you enjoyed this video about Mars and its mysteries, you'll definitely like this one about how you would die on each planet in the solar system. You'll be shocked to find out what can happen to you. Don't miss it.